first off, shout out to my guy Luke Hawks. Still got the shirt from a little trip in the New York Sportatorium for that Tier 1 show years ago. But here's a good thing that really grinds my gears. Brian Shapiro continues to hide the bodies when there are receipts coming his way. And for me, this is not just coming from me. It is an excerpt from the show via my guy Johnny, and John's been hounding at me. Johnny, I get it, man, but I will say this: Brian Shapiro already blocked me. What else is there for me to do except speak out on his BS? But this video here is kind of like saying, okay, we've got the receipts on you. Why don't you address it? And he just cuts them off. Take a listen to this.
All right, let's go to Patrick. Patrick is next up on PTL. Hello, Patrick.
Brian, how you doing?
Good. What's on your mind, Patrick?
Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the hard evidence that's out there and the receipts provided that show you and your parents.
All right, again, you're just going to call into the show and say stupid stuff. Have a nice day, Patrick. 7022.
That right there shows me dude's hiding the bodies. But have you ever read the Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe? That heart is currently beating right now, and Brian is oblivious to it. I mean, everybody's upset, and everybody has a right to feel say what they feel about Brian and Ryan Shapiro and his antics, but bottom line is this: he scammed his family. He stole money from his dead sister. He abuses women. And there are people who are not holding them accountable. And Brian is trying to hide the bodies, and he's got a lot of stuff. I can't stuff on this. I think that, yeah, I get it. He knows what. Everybody knows where the bodies are buried. And we're all oblivious to it. Like, for example, Pam Hemphill was on the show. And Johnny, who's the biggest pitbull I've seen on X so far. That's because Pam knows she's supporting an abuser. I'm like, I don't know what to think. I don't know how to say it or say it like, hey Pam, do you know that Brian is abusing women or scamming people? Everybody who sees me on X knows I wrote that shit. I helped expose that. Sarah, I like to say that Sarah Fields, who exposed it, did that a lot of years. Did that expose last year, and yet she's still a Republican. She's still going to be loyal to the inept clown. But that's because I'm still a principled person, and I'm not going to hide from this insanity lie that I did my best to expose him for who he is. But people, I guess when you have a big name, if you're a big name in Vegas, you're pretty much you can do whatever you want. You can say what happens in Vegas. There's a old saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But this expose is out. And it's not going to stay hidden. It's not going to stay in Vegas. Everyone knows this. You can ask Sarah Fields. You can ask her, why did you make that expose on him? She'll explain it to you why. That he's a scumbag. She did a lot of exposés on a lot of people. And a lot of people I'm not going to go after. Because of it ties to Shapiro. I mean, You can say that I'm being soft, but I'm being more principled. I want to focus on other things. I want to go after the inept clown. I want to go after his inept cabinet, his policies. This takes away my time to do that. The guy is hurting people, and I feel bad. And I feel bad for everybody who's victims of this guy. This I think I don't want. I don't. I people me. I do not like to say I expose somebody because they're bad people. Some of them do have some redeeming qualities. Brian Shapiro, to me, doesn't fit that description. It's sad to me that someone I had high respect for became a scumbag before my very eyes. And I highly hate it, and I highly hate myself for trying to make myself look like an idiot, or at least this is very sad. I don't. There's he stole money. FBI investigated started an investigation on his potential insurance fraud, theft. Man, and to me it hurt, and to me that hurt. Shapiro is a bad guy, and the receipts are there. You can ask Sarah Fields about it. You can ask John about it. They'll tell you. Brian Shapiro is a very bad guy. And I can't waste my time or my breath on this guy any further. I've done what I could. You can say that you get nothing. Just more. You can't say that much about me because I tried my best to say, you know what? If anybody's not doing shit, why am I the one doing it? I spoke up about Shapiro. Nobody else is. The guy blocked me, so what the fuck do I care? For a guy I defended, for a guy who had hey, this guy really gets me. This guy is anti-Pelosi, anti-Chuck Schumer. He wants a fresh crop of Democrats to speak out against this insane and inept administration. And then he becomes a scumbag right before my eyes. And I right now feel bad saying it. Nothing about it makes me feel better. Nothing about it makes me feel happy. But as far as I'm concerned, people are not going to listen to Brian Shapiro's either off the air or admit that he's wrong. Which he won't. He'll never stop scamming people. He'll never admit to the truth. The receipts are there. And Brian Shapiro and everybody should say, everybody said, tell Occupy Democrats, look, you gotta stop associating yourself with Shapiro. The guy's a scumbag. The guy's a liar. The guy's a sociopath. Get him off your channel before this gets worse. And this is still getting worse for him. He's still ignoring the truth. He is ignoring what's in front of him, and he's ignoring what's right in front of him. Everything around it, he wants to create this image that he's a good guy, nothing more. But all of a sudden, he's turning himself into a low life right before my eyes. And I feel bad for and part of me feels bad for him. Literally feel bad about him. Dude needs help. He can't handle criticism. He can't handle the truth. And it's sure as hell starting getting art and can't. He's like, every time people want to address it, he just says, "You're saying when I say dumb shit. You want to say dumb shit, dude? It's right there in front of you. It's everybody's talking about it, and your head's buried in the sand, brother. You're done. Your career is probably done. Don't blame me. Blame yourself. Your victims are speaking out, and they're doubly done with you right now. The only reason I'm doing this is to say to people, I'm saying it, but you got a choice. I don't blame you, and I don't blame you for associating with Shapiro. You probably didn't know he's an abuser. You didn't know he was a con artist, and I understand. But the guy is but the guy's a scammer. The guy lied. Everyone knows how I feel, and everybody knows how I feel. And I can't stress this enough because I can't think about this enough. I did all I could. I put up a Medium column a few days ago, and I wanted him to get the attention. And if I didn't do my part, I don't know what I'm doing. And to me, the only thing I can do is just say, hey, don't watch him. Don't retweet this guy. The guy's a lowlife. The guy's a scumbag. And he's been exposed because he's ignoring the receipts. Stay happy, stay healthy, be a good human being. Especially when it comes right down to the measles outbreak in Texas. But of course, be safe out there and stay healthy. So, with that in mind, I'll be back next time. But in the meantime, Brian Shapiro, man, you have the receipt. Everybody's got the receipts. You got your head buried in the sand, and you're ignoring everything. Admit you're wrong. Admit your guilt, and this will be over. I'll be back next time.